Hi, I'm Stefania, and welcome back to Pace Law Firm. We're here today to talk with immigration attorney Andy Semachek. Andy, we sometimes get questions from people who are trying to enter Canada but have a criminal record. What kind of trouble would these people have?
That's a very serious matter in terms of crossing the border. If you have a criminal conviction, it's going to pop up on the screen when the immigration officer scans your passport. And depending on the conviction, of course, you could have some serious trouble and you will be blocked.
Are all criminal convictions treated the same, or do they make a distinction between, say, shoplifting and murder?
Oh, there are differences between offenses, and depending on what offense you are charged with, you will have an easier time or a harder time getting across the border. If it's something simple like shoplifting or perhaps an assault, it'll be much easier for you to get what's needed, a temporary resident permit, than if, for example, you were involved with murder or kidnapping or something very serious.
If a U.S. citizen has a drunk driving charge, will that block them from entering Canada?
Canada treats impaired driving convictions much more seriously than the United States. So whereas someone who might have an impaired driving conviction in Canada can get across the United States without a waiver, across the American border without a waiver, the opposite is not true. I've had clients who have flown into Canada and then been promptly flown out because they've had a DUI from the United States. So you have to apply for what's called a temporary resident permit in order to get permission to enter Canada. And that will all hinge on how long ago it was that you were charged with something like a DUI in the United States. If it's longer than 5 years ago, then you may be able to get what's called a rehabilitation permit. And if it was longer than 10 years ago, you may be automatically allowed to enter from Canada, from the United States to Canada, by virtue of the fact that it's been so long since you've had an offense. So a lot depends on what the circumstances are, and of course you should consult an immigration attorney if you have any sort of conviction in the United States or anywhere else in the world, or even in Canada if you were here previously and left Canada.
All right, thank you very much, Andy. We'll see you next time. Everyone else, be sure to check pacelawfirm.com for more updates.